What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So ever since I unlocked Darth Malak last night, I've been playtesting with him, and I've got to say, so far, he's pretty underwhelming. It's not just me, there's been other people I've been talking to. They have come away saying that they're not too impressed with Darth Malak right now, and that's kind of a shame, but CG has said that they will be working on him, and initially, when I first heard the news that Darth Malak would be getting some buffs, I was pretty mad because he already looked like a pretty overpowered character, and he looked like he didn't really need any changes, but after playtesting him and seeing just how underwhelming he is, I've got to say, he does need some fine-tune adjustments. And the big shocking thing is, on a Darth Revan team, when you're fighting him, if a Darth Revan team is on defense, Malak makes pretty much no difference at all. If you can get your Fallen Vassal to go first and put Corrupted Battle Meditation on the enemy team, Darth Malak pretty much just sits there and is pretty much an expensive paperweight. You can easily take him out, and it's not really any kind of problem. So on a Darth Revan team right now, Malak is not very good. But there are two places in which he's pretty good for the most part. And number one, he is fantastic against Jedi Revan teams, which I'll show here in a moment. And number two, even more surprisingly, he's far better on an Emperor Palpatine team than he is on a Darth Revan team. This is because of the constant shocks with Emperor Palpatine. It constantly fuels the taunt on Malak. If you go back and look at his kit, his torture ability, if the target already has shock or fear, it stuns the target for 2 turns. And he is able to then also get his unique, where he is able to taunt for 1 turn when someone has shock or fear on them. So he has a lot of great synergy with Emperor Palpatine already, and this is kind of what we found so far, is that you're going to get a much better return with Malak on an Emperor Palpatine team. In fact, you can crush Jedi Knight Revan teams with an Emperor Palpatine team really easily with Malak in there, because Malak will constantly fear the Jedi Revan team. He gets a lot of stuns, and the overall damage from the Emperor Palpatine unique, plus the fear between Revan and Darth Malak, it shuts down a Jedi Revan team incredibly easy. In fact, I've even got footage of it. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you guys so you guys can see what's going on here. Pretty much, you can go ahead and just, once you get the taunt on Malak, you can chalk it up to an easy victory on your team. I actually had one battle where Malak got focused by Jedi Knight Revan, so everyone focused focused Malak, got critical hits, and at that point they all got feared right off the bat, and it went downhill from there. We then had the fears from Bastila and Darth Revan pretty much just wipe out the enemy team. And do keep in mind, this is an Emperor Palpatine lead here. Malak was made to counter Jedi Knight Revan teams. That is his strength right now, and he has that in spades. His constant fear that's unresistible, he's just able to easily take down the enemy team because he is able to land all those fears, and the Jedi Knight Revan team has so much crit chance under that leadership, they're going to land so many crit hits on Darth Malak, he's just going to put fear all over the place. So you can see here, this Emperor Palpatine team, it looked a little dicey at first, Darth Revan got marked, and that kind of added some problems. But then, once the shocks start going here, and you can see, I don't even have the Zeta on Malak, and let's rewind that real quick. You could see that at this point, Malak is sitting at about 40% health, but he is able to then use his special, and look at all the health he gets back here in a moment. And, I mean, look at that. He's back at 90% health. Now, my Darth Malak is modded pretty well. I do have health with Protection Primary, so you're talking about a 105,000 health pool on him right now, and that's really the easy way to go for him. I have speed with health on him. You can make a case for full sets of health on him with high speed secondaries, but the trick is to go for just a lot of protection on the primaries, that you can go for speed on the arrow instead. And look at this, 72,000 protection on him, and he's only at gear 11. So once he gets up to gear 12, you could easily push 100,000 bonus protection on Darth Malak, which then gets converted to health, and yeah, he's gonna be a very tanky character. So these Emperor Palpatine teams with Malak in there, with his constant taunting and the fear, that is something new. And this, I think, is something that they're okay with, but I don't think what they're okay with is that your Malak on Darth Revan teams just has no place. In fact, I'll show you guys here in a moment, but yeah, you can see this battle's pretty much over. We'll go ahead and we'll get some stuns on everybody, take out Jolie, and at that point, the battle's pretty much over, and this is with an Emperor Palpatine. Like, that's the crazy thing, is Jedi Revan's supposed to destroy your Emperor Palpatine teams, but, I mean, you can see it's not an easy match at all. I mean, it got a little dicey there, and, you know, as long as you can survive that initial mark, if someone like Revan gets taunted or gets marked, then you can go ahead and still win this match pretty easily. So, on the whole, it looks pretty positive for your Emperor Palpatine teams, and that's really impressive. In fact, there's even more matches here where I've found that against another Emperor Palpatine lead with Malak in here, Malak just allows you to quickly chew through the team again. He has all that taunt, so if anybody lands critical hits on him, he's going to put fear on them, and fear is going to quickly shut things down. So, with Emperor Palpatine, Malak seems like an easy shoo-in character to use for that team. No problem there, but the problem is going to be when you get to a mirror match of Darth Revan versus Darth Revan. So, Snakes on a Plane, I've used videos from him before. He has this video where he beats another Darth Revan and Malak team in 30 seconds. And full disclosure, he does have faster speeds than the enemy team. But the interesting thing to note here is that there is no real use for Malak here. You're going to watch the enemy Malak will do pretty much nothing except get one drain life off this entire match. And that is the problem right now, is that Malak just doesn't do much with defense. And you're getting a good prime example of it here. We have Corrupted Battle Meditation on the entire enemy team, so you can't really place debuffs. So no tenacity down on Snake's team. You can see there we got the drain life with Malak, but he was forced to target the other Malak. And remember, Malak takes reduced damage from percentage health effects. So if you try to drain life on the opposing Malak, you're not going to get a lot in return. It's going to be very minimal damage. I think it's something like 2%. It's something incredibly low. So not a lot of damage there. And look at that, the entire enemy team is gone. So the enemy Malak really didn't have any taunt. He didn't have any time to get a taunt on himself, so that you would have to focus on Malak. And against a Darth Revan team, there's so much crit chance, there should be a lot of unavoidable fear because you're having to target that enemy Malak. But because the Malak could never get taunt, because the team could never put shock on or any kind of fear, there was no real time for it. And that is the big problem right here. I mean, look at this. There was, at no point could they ever land any kind of sizable or notable debuffs on the team until the very end, where they were landing critical hits on the Darth Malak, and that is when they were able to get the unresistible fear on the team. There's just no point to it here. So you get the drain life on Darth Revan, and the whole team's pretty much gone. And just now, once you're killing Malak and the rest of the team, that is when Snake's team is getting fear on it. And that is the problem that is going on with Darth Malak right now. And that, I expect, is going to get some kind of buff. He's more than likely probably going to get some kind of pre-taunt, or there's going to be some way to counter the fact that you have to get debuffs on the enemy team in order for him to taunt. That, I think, is the big problem that they're finding with Malak that is not really working up to par, and I expect them to tweak it so that he'll get some kind of taunting mechanic that doesn't rely on your team having to put shock or fear on the enemy team. Now, there is great synergy with shock and fear with your Fallen Vassal and Darth Revan, but if your Fallen Vassal and Darth Revan get Corrupted Battle Meditation on them, they are not going to be able to put those debuffs on the enemy team, and that's the big problem. Now, something else here to keep in mind is that, once again, Fallen Vassala's AI is broken. This is probably going to become a gremlin with the developers, that anytime they do something or they tweak something in the game, her AI is somehow going to be broken. Her AI right now, before it would never use Wall Lightning on defense, now it is prioritizing Wall Lightning over fear on defense, so they're going to have to go back in and change her AI again, so that she'll use the fear ability on defense first, and then she'll use Wall Lightning. So there is a bug right now where fear on defense is not being prioritized, so your Darth Revan teams are not up to par exactly with where they should be on defense, but that doesn't cover for the fact that Darth Malak still is having some glaring weaknesses on defense against these Darth Revan teams. And really, any kind of mirror match, if you're fighting Darth Malak on defense, you can very easily counter him, you can very easily get around him through different ways. Jedi Knight Revan can mark certain characters, and if you can prevent debuffs from landing on your team, then Darth Malak is never going to taunt. That is the big problem, and that is what I think they're going to fix on him, and you know, they probably should. I mean, look at what we have to use to unlock this character. I mean, you have so many characters that have such high gear requirements. This was a very amped up character, and the event is still going on right now, and we have people saying that he's a very underwhelming character, so that's going to kill their bottom line and their revenue, so they are going to have to fix this because they want people to start investing in these characters to unlock Darth Malak, and if Darth Malak's not performing up to par, then it kind of kills the whole need and drive for people to work on Darth Malak. So, pretty much, I totally understand and I totally support them tweaking Darth Malak here. He has to be, with the way we have to unlock him, he has to be a very good character, and right now, he's just not. So, they are going to have to work on him and they are going to tweak him, so we'll probably see that sometime this week, but right now, he is still a work in progress, and you know, you can make the jokes too, you know, they rushed this event out, and they rushed it out so fast they didn't do proper testing on Darth Malak, and you can easily make that point too. So one other thing that I've noticed also is that Bastila teams can also counter these Emperor Palpatine teams really easily, especially with Darth Malak in there, because you can't land those debuffs, so you can't get the taunt on Darth Malak. So this, I think, is something else that they've seen and they're trying to avoid and fix, is that they don't want us to go back to a Palpatine versus Bastila meta, because we have two Revans and we have a Darth Malak, but everybody wants to use a Palpatine or Bastila lead. That's something they want to avoid. So that is probably another reason as well why we're going to get some tweaks, and I think that they're going to also probably get something here where Malak could do some unresistible effects or something that could force him to put a taunt even on characters with all that bonus tenacity. That is going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about Darth Malak so far? Are you happy that he's underwhelming? Do you wish he would be underwhelming? Do you think that they have to make him be really good because of how hard he is to obtain and because of his pay-to-win status? Let me know down in the comments. As always, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I will talk to you guys later.